All right, Brandon, in this video, we're going to talk about number one, some progress that you've made, but number two, where you need to build as a pitcher. And it all, again, boils down to momentum. And when we think about momentum and working towards home plate, as far towards home plate and as fast as possible, what we need to really think about, in addition to throwing with our eyes, we really need to think about three big pieces. We need to think about the back foot, the back knee, and the back hip. And all three of these things really need to be thrusting and driving towards home plate as soon as we begin our knee lift. Because if we can start to create separation from this original starting point with this back hip by driving off the inside of the back leg and working down the mound, if we can create that separation early, as you can see here with Mariano Rivera, we're going to create great momentum down the mound. And that's going to help our velocity, and it's going to help us be a free and easy pitcher. And so what you're going to notice here, again, with Mariano, is I can put a dot, a blue dot at his back hip, and a blue dot at his back knee, and a blue dot at his foot. And you're going to see when he gets to the top of his knee lift, he's already created separation from that original point. You can see here the distance that his back hip has created from that original blue dot and the distance he's created with his knee. And so what he's essentially doing here is driving with this back hip and this back knee and this back foot towards home plate to create that momentum. And he's going to continue as he gets his weight shifted. You can see here more and more separation with the hip and the knee from that original blue spot. And he still hasn't broke his hands yet. And that's really important because this is going to help him get his arm into a good position. And you can see here when he finally breaks how much weight is shifted towards home plate. Again, if we go back to that original point, you see it right here. And I can illustrate this a little bit better with a blue line or a green line. But watch. As he knee lifts, he's simultaneously thrusting and driving towards his target. So when his hands separate, he's already got a great weight shift. And you'll see the same thing here with Randy Johnson too. If we draw that line from back hip, foot to knee, watch as he picks up his knee, he's simultaneously thrusting towards home plate. And when he gets to the top of his knee lift, right here, you'll notice the great amount of separation he's created, that great momentum with the back foot and the back knee and the back hip. And that enables him to get down the mound quickly and to let it all fly. And you'll see the same thing here with Rivera. Because he's able to create that separation, he can just let it fly. Now, if we take a look at you, there's one really positive thing that I see, and it's what you did with the step behind drill. If you remember, one of the first things we worked on, and we don't have a great video clip here, but we started with having your front foot crossed over your back foot. And what that does is that already starts to help you load your hips. Now, if I pull up one of your later clips with a full delivery right here, we're going to take a look at how things are a little bit different. Okay, so let's slide this over a little bit. And what I want you to start by noticing is this positive thing. Remember, we got to perfect small. And one of the things you're going to notice, I'm going to draw dots at the back foot, the back knee, and the back hip here. And I really like how you're able to shift your weight and drive as you're lifting. Watch here as you lift. Look at the separation you've already created. And when you get to the top of your knee lift right here, you can see where your back hip is. Now you'll notice you didn't get as much separation with your back knee. Remember, if we looked at our pro pitchers, that back knee was already getting separation at the top of the knee lift. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Randy Johnson. Back foot, back knee, back hip. Top of the knee lift. Take a look at the back knee and the back hip. That just signals how much momentum he's already creating, how much drive he's creating with that back leg. And I want you to look at the difference here with you. Again, we'll go back to the beginning right here. The good news is the hip is getting better, the back hip. That's a huge improvement. The thing that we got to notice is right here, and I'm going to ask you a question right now, and this is a little bit of a homework assignment that I want you to be able to answer. Why is Randy Johnson different than you? What is he doing with this leg to create that separation here and here? And what are you not doing that's not creating that separation with your back knee? So think about that. Try to answer it via email or when we see each other. I know it's a tough question to ask, and what you might have to do is you might have to start and just do this drill and practice over and over and think about what it's going to take. But again, I want to end with this, and this is huge. We talk about progress. When you do this easy, simple drill, this small drill, you get great separation with the hip, which is a huge start. When you do this normal throw, at the top of your knee lift right there, you can see that it's totally different. So a second question to ask is, why is it so much easier in the step behind drill to get that separation and that hip drive as opposed to when you're throwing normal from a set position? So I've thrown a lot at you. I want you to go back and watch this video 2 or 3 times and process it and be able to come up with some answers for me.